Let's just jump right into this thing, man. Why don't you go ahead, tell us a little background about yourself.
All right. Well, you and me are brothers, so you already know most of what I'm about to say. But we grew up playing soccer since we were little tykes, and then around 8 years old, we got serious. Our dad coached the team, which was a plus. Played competitive club till I got to college. Played in college at Messiah. Was all.
Yep, we played each other actually.
We did play each other. Yep.
Yep.
Don't need to remind us of the result of that one, do we?
No, we don't.
Close to fair that one was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did that all-state conference second team my sophomore year. The most important thing to mention is big Liverpool fan, as you are as well.
Yep.
And I've played in Scotland, played in Spain, won a tournament in Spain when I was in high school.
That is true.
And that's all you really need to know to set up this fantasy Premier League background.
Yeah, so we rich soccer background.
Oh yeah,
between us. So yeah, talking about fantasy Premier League, when did you first start playing? If you could enlighten us.
I think it was probably 2009 that we were introduced to Fantasy Champions League, and then from there, I think that led me over to Fantasy Premier League. I'm just gonna guess it was 2009 mid-season, maybe.
Yeah, I would say 2009, probably 2009, maybe 2010 potentially for fantasy, but
yeah,
we definitely started watching in 2009, so we have we've watched it for so many years. So who's your go-to player in fantasy?
Go-to player was always pretty much the same until this season. It was Mohamed Salah.
Yeah,
and then mid-season this season I took him out. But
okay, wow. So you took him out of your squad.
Yeah, moving forward, go-to player is going to be Holland.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I can see why you would go with Holland.
Who's your go-to player?
I still, for some reason, have to say it's Salah, because I've had him in my team ever since he first transferred to Liverpool, and I've never taken him out ever. So I've always had him in my team ever since he transferred. So it has to be him. But well, speaking about Erling Haaland, how many goals do you think he'll score this season?
Okay, so I took a look at Haaland and I saw he already has 28 goals now. However, he does have a slight knock right now. On international duty, he took a knock. He didn't play against Spain. So I'm guessing he has 11 games left. I think no matter how many games I think he'll still play probably 8 or 9 of those 11 games left. And I'm thinking he'll score 9 goals. So I'm saying he's going to end on 37 goals. And it's going to be – I mean, he's a guy that breaks records. So I think he's going to do that.
And that would be breaking the record by 5 goals, actually. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I feel like the only reason he wouldn't do it is if he gets injured.
Yeah.
So moving on then. Just kind of want to ask you about your transfer policy. Okay? Your transfer policy. How do you decide who to get rid of and who to bring in?
So getting rid of, so for me, I feel like I have certain shoe-ins that are never going to get transferred out. You know, usually it would be Salah. You've got Rashford, Haaland. Then I've got the players who are kind of like my risk players, the players who like Amares, the kind of guy who some games Pep just won't even start him. Sometimes he will start. And so my policy for transferring players out is, have they gone like 2 games in a row where they really didn't contribute more than 1 or 2 points?
Mm-hmm.
And then I look and see what kind of options I can replace them with. And obviously if a player is injured, if they just have like the orange symbol, meaning they took a knock or something.
Yeah.
If it's a big name player like Haaland or Rashford, I'll just ride it out, keep them in.
Yeah, I agree with that. If it's like 75% chance, I'm keeping them for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So who is your current captain? Is it Haaland?
It is Haaland.
Okay. Yeah, I believe so. Tell me this though, would you switch it if say one of your risk players had like a double game week that was like really interesting to you, like they played 2 weaker teams and you're like, maybe I could captain this guy and he'll just kind of get like some points, or are you just like, nah, I got to keep it consistent on Haaland?
To be honest, I think that what you just mentioned would be the smarter strategy, to look at the double game week. But I'm a man who, whenever I'm always scared that if I switch it, then the guy I left the captaincy from is going to have a
Right.
crazy week. Like if I were to, let's say Rashford had a double game week and I gave the captaincy to Rashford instead of Holland, and then Holland goes off and scores 3 or 4 goals or something crazy.
Right.
I'm always like, oh, I
You'll
would
never forgive yourself. Never forgive yourself.
Yeah. So I'm more of like a Holland's my captain. I just stick with it.
Okay.
What about you? Do you switch yours?
I respect that. I do actually, because the other week I put Tony as my captain because they played like Southampton and Everton, I think, and I was like, oh, 2 relegation teams, Tony. And the first game he got me like he got 2 points, so I got like 4 points with the captain. But then against Southampton, he scored and assisted. So overall, I got 26 points from him as my captain.
Which I found interesting because with all the allegations coming out with Tony, I didn't know if that would affect his playing and his goal scoring.
Yeah, because he has like 360 like betting allegations of him like betting on games, which you're not allowed to do.
Yeah, that's one of those things
So
where it's not allowed, but you don't think of them as being like a bad person for doing it necessarily. Like
yeah, it's not like no one got harmed in him doing
yeah,
that. Yeah, but okay. So then, are there any players who have surprised you this season? Then, just in terms of their form, how many goals they've got?
Now I will tell you. I had this jotted down here somewhere. Disappointments. So Mahrez, my disappointment with him is
Okay.
he was so hot for a little bit that I brought him in. And then as soon as I
Mhm.
brought him in, he either didn't produce or Pep wasn't starting him. And I'm like, so
Yeah.
he was a disappointment. I think I still have him in though, because I'm hoping he comes good.
Yeah.
Salah was my biggest disappointment because there was a little stint there where he really wasn't. That's when I swapped him and I brought Holland in, and I haven't looked back since.
Okay. Yeah. See, I have both,
Mm,
but kind of I guess leaves less room to get like other expensive players.
yeah.
Um. All right. So switching gears here to just the Premier League in general. Want you to give me top 4 prediction.
Okay. As badly as I wanted to slide Liverpool into the top 4 battle, I just couldn't do it because there's been too many times where they've
Wow.
proven to me that they're going to be inconsistent. But as far as the actual top 4 goes, I think Arsenal wins it. They just have that feel to them that Leicester had that season when they ended up winning it.
Right.
They're just on a roll. Nothing's going to stop them.
Yeah.
City will get second. That's going to be a clear top 2.
Oh yeah. I agree.
My hot take is
Oh boy.
Tottenham third because
Really?
new manager is going to come in. Harry Kane's flown under the radar this season. He's going to continue to have a really good end of the season.
I can see it.
They don't have Champions League or any other cup to worry about.
Okay.
So I think they're going to get on a little bit of a roll here moving into the back end of the season. And I think it'll be very tight, but I think United will take fourth because they have Europa League to worry about. They've shown they can be kind of shaky losing 7-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be like by a point or something.
That's true. I feel like when you're in a European competition, it definitely takes a toll. And like since Tottenham are out and they're out of the FA Cup.
Yep.
And Manchester United are still in that as well. So
yeah, and what I
that'd be
think.
interesting.
What did you say?
That would be interesting if Spurs
It would be.
end up getting third. Yeah.
And Tottenham are going to do what they tend to always do, at least in my opinion, is everyone forgets about them because they're not challenging for the league. They're out of the cups. And then they just kind of just have a mediocre, or like not mediocre, but they have like a good end of the season, but no one really cares about it. And then they just suddenly they get third. And the only thing that everyone was looking at was that 4th, 5th battle that they weren't in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And if Tottenham can get like Son and Kulusevski, especially like back into form again, because really the only attacker on form right now is like Harry Kane, I feel like.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they can get all those other guys like firing again, they'll be. I can see them making a top 4 push for sure, but I'm still hoping Liverpool get in there as well.
Yep.
Okay. Relegation, bottom 3. Who you got?
I think Nottingham Forest has a disaster in them. I think they have like a losing streak in them. So I think they'll get 18th.
Okay.
Because they do have some quality players that they've brought in. I think Southampton they're bottom of the table now. I think they'll jump to 19th and finish 19th. I wouldn't put it past them to stay out to avoid relegation, but they just, besides word prowess, they just have championship level players. 20th Bournemouth. I think they're gonna finish in the basement.
Yep. Well, I could definitely see that one. They don't have much depth.
Yeah.
Their squad's kind of championship level. So
yeah.
Well, all right, man. That's all we've got time for today. But appreciate you coming out and sharing some of your insights with us, and maybe we'll have you on again someday for some additional.
Hey, if I'm lucky.
Listen, man, I'm the one that benefited from this. So, right. That's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.